Hi, I'm Rich Heffron. This is this week's Delaware State Chamber of Commerce Legislative Report. The legislature is in a 2-week break for the budget to be put together by the Joint Finance Committee. This week they're looking at cuts. As we mentioned before, there's about a $380 million hole in the budget. It needs to be patched. The governor has proposed doing one half of the patch with revenue and one half with cuts. And as I said, this week the Joint Finance Committee is looking at cuts. It's not going to be easy. A lot of tough decisions to be made. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Last week, the House did pass the increase in the corporate franchise tax, which will bring in about $110 million. Also, they eliminated the estate tax, which cost, on average, $3 million to the state. A couple important pieces of legislation, controversial pieces of legislation have been introduced. One is the modernization of the Coastal Zone Act, which we support. The bill doesn't go as far as we would like, but it is a start. It's going to be tough getting it through both houses. Along with that, you're also going to see the legislation which will at least enable the establishment of the public-private partnership for DITO, replacing DITO. Once again, that could see some opposition, but I think we'll get that through. There'll be other small pieces of legislation, but they are important, including the minimum wage and possibility of paid family leave for state employees, both of which we would oppose, and there'll be some other things popping up as we go along. The budget negotiations get serious in June. We're keeping an eye on that as the leadership committee, made up of the leaders of both the House and Senate and administrative personnel, try to work out the final pieces of the budget. But I've talked to a couple leaders who are confident they'll get done by June 30th. We'll let you know what we know when we know it. Lastly, on June 7th is our end of session legislative brunch. It's going to be interesting this year. We've changed it a little bit. In the morning there'll be a session where Ed Ratledge, the University of Delaware, will present some demographic data about the state of Delaware and what direction we're heading in. Then we'll have a policy discussion with James DeShane from our office and Bob Perkins with the executive director of the Business Roundtable. One of the things they'll be looking at is actually how do we solve the budget situation, the structural problems with the budget. If that's going to get done this year, or a piece is going to get done this year, and if it's only pieces, how we proceed in the future. And then at lunch we'll have two speakers. Traditionally, it always is the President Pro Tem of the Senate, who is now David McBride, and the Speaker of the House, who is Pete Schwarzkopf, will let us know where they think the legislature is going to be going in the last 3 weeks of the session. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Like I said, we'll keep you updated on the legislative session. Thank you.